Well, there's quite a few examples if I would really stop and think about it for a while, but I'll mention a few. Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer, Great Balls of Fire, a whole lot of shaking going on. I met him through a friend that worked for him, and I had conversations with him in Indianapolis and in Memphis. He would remember me as the preacher's kid. Something he said at an event in Memphis, I think it was his 60th birthday party, 40th year of celebration in show business, and it took place at the Peabody Hotel. And I literally was backstage and standing around and a group of people talking that apparently hadn't seen each other in a while, and they were just sharing stories from back in the day. Sam Phillips from Sun Records was there, the DJ who first played That's All Right Mama, as well as Great Balls of Fire and the radio there in Memphis. And Chris Christopherson was there, the drummer from Bill Haley and the Comets who played in the show. There's so many others, and they're having these conversations, and I'm just kind of, I'm the young guy there, like, whoa. It was pretty amazing to be there. And I think that during the show, there was something that Jerry had said, and it was like a "this is your life" kind of thing, right? He had no idea that was going to be happening, that there would be these special guests, Chris Christopherson and all of that. And there were a couple of videos from two of his cousins who also live in the state of Tennessee, and they couldn't make it. And one was Jimmy Swaggart, and the other one was Mickey Gilley. And they made nice comments about Jerry and growing up with him and all that kind of stuff. They all grew up in the church, like I did. And Jerry made a comment, something like, looking up at the screen, he's sitting at the piano, and, well, that's nice. Basically, commenting on their statements. And then he said, and I think he turned to the mic and said, if you really wanted to be here, you'd be here. And I don't know, for some reason, that made an impression, in looking at friendships and relationships along the way, when people really want to be there for you, they're there. That's true. Buddy Ebsen, who is best known as Jed Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies, who actually was supposed to be the original Scarecrow, and then the original Tin Man on the Wizard of Oz, and then he obviously couldn't continue to do the part because he got sick with the paint that was put on his body to make him look like the Tin Man. And it was toxic, and he got very sick. Then he also went to do a show called Barnaby Jones. We were on the same label at the time. It was an online label, and based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. So I got an interview with him, and he gave me this piece of advice as a performer. And I don't think he realized at the time that I actually had one of my shows that I did regularly once a month was a variety show on a Monday night. And he said to me, whenever you're out there, you're doing a show and it's a Monday night, never let up. Even if there's not that many people in the audience, never quit. Never let up was the words he used. Because you never know what's going to happen down the road or who will see you. And I've always stayed true to that. And have gotten even more recent confirmation of that from Simon Cowell, when connections were made, and I found myself on that stage of America's Got Talent in 2020, right before the quarantine happened. And Simon let me perform my entire song and bit in front of the live audience. But even in the edit for TV, he says, but Dan, never give up. And so I stick to that, and I it's important, heartfelt advice when somebody shares things like that with you. So I appreciate it. And I'm sure there's more, but I just can't think of any at the moment.